Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been slaves to the algorithm since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your leagues and make your friends look like idiots. How's it going, fellas?
It's going. What you want to elaborate? What you mean?
I'm trapped. I'm trapped in the algorithm.
Algorithms are taking over. Sean recently encountered some very specific Instagram ads.
Oh yeah,
struck him in the heart.
Yeah, so
the core.
I was talking to Connor, bro of the pod, about like the jackets we want to buy because it's almost jacket season. So this is a conversation that takes place verbally, not through our phones in any way. And I was talking about how I want to get a denim jacket with like the Sherpa lining on the collar. Dude, lo and behold, literally 4 hours later, what pops up in my feed? Nice little post with that exact jacket. Just happened to be 30% off, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to not click on it, and then I click on it, and now every post is a hyper-specific clothing item that matches my style. So I'm kind of upset about it, but I'm not too upset at the same time.
You're locked into the system.
Exactly. They got me.
They got your cookies. They're never letting go.
My Instagram ads are so specific, and they are so accurate that, I actually enjoy them. And I'm glad that they're there. This is how deep it is. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want to have to, find these clothes. I'm glad that Instagram's bringing them to me.
I don't want to have to think about what I want. I want to just cater to my every thought. My every waking thought has to be planned out for me.
I want my brain to just be a carousel that brings all the things that I like to me
every day.
I'm not going to go out into the world and find these things. Where am I going to find them?
At a store?
The magic of discovery. The magic of the algorithm.
Sounds
Thanks,
like
Facebook.
Yeah, sounds like you're at peace that someone out there, or I guess someone being the algorithm, is just controlling your life and your livelihood.
When they finally come out with microchips that we put in our brains, I'm going to be the first person in line.
Early adopter.
Chip me up.
Chip me up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what my algorithms are. I don't know what my Instagram ads are. They're just weird and random. It's like food.
Eat clean, bro.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of food. That's pretty much all I look at on Instagram is food videos. They're so mesmerizing. The 1 minute videos where they're they do fingers and 2 tablespoons. Do you know those?
I do.
That's my.
Isn't that Sesame Street?
No, well, yeah, it's definitely dumbed down for people like me. But I appreciate it, and then I never make any of those. Just pretty much a torture.
It's so satisfying to see it all come together, though. I mean,
it really is.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
The tasty videos get me because they always make it look so easy, and they make a fucking cake in 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that.
You could.
And then I go and it takes me 3 hours, and I fuck it up halfway through, and I'm like, what? How?
False
How did
advertising.
They do this?
It's got to be great to be that guy that just says, "Oh yes," at the end of every video. That's his job is just saying that all day.
Yeah, that's true. It must be nice. Oh, yeah. It's like our Kool-Aid guy.
Oh, yeah.
Real-life Kool-Aid guy.
Maybe he grew up and matured into the tasty guy.
I think the winning the mascot challenge has propelled him to a level that we never thought he would see. Kind of like it's a pretty big storyline, but some other big storylines from Week 12. What did we get this week?
We got Lamar Jackson propelled to a new height. I mean, his trajectory
Good
is
word.
So vertical right now. The stocks are flying off the chart. Lamar Jackson, probably the MVP frontrunner after this week. And
7 to 5 odds.
That's coming from like the biggest Russell Wilson fan on the planet, so it's saying a lot. And he's easily the fantasy MVP so far this year. So, I mean, if you picked him, like I said in my beauty sleepers, you are sitting pretty there at the quarterback spot. But some other guys, too, went off this week. Carlos Hyde, Mark Ingram, Lamar's teammate, had a great week. Scott, I know you're a Mark Ingram owner because you used him to decapitate me in the Hoboken League.
Ooh, sorry. What are you going to do? Yeah, Lamar, go back to Lamar. He has more rushing yards this year than his teammate Mark Ingram, Carlos Hyde, Phillip Lindsay. He has almost 200 more yards than Aaron Jones, Matt Breida, Todd Gurley. That's who he has more rushing yards than this year. He has 7-5 odds in according to Caesars for MVP. So I can see it.
I just realized I had a Ron Burgundy teleprompter moment there. I was like reading and I was like, did Carlos Hyde go off? I don't remember that happening.
Mark Ingram, a long touchdown run.
Did. Mark Ingram definitely did. But yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson RB1 and QB1 at the moment, so it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. Other guys, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, finally back into the swing of things, 4 touchdowns. Dak, over 400 yards. He's leading the NFL in passing yards right now. Just crazy to think. He's vaulted himself into the MVP conversation again, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, 2 other, maybe not Jimmy G, but Kirk Cousins has vaulted himself into that as well. I think he has 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions this year, or 19 to 3, which is crazy. Kyler Murray went off. Christian McCaffrey, as always. Mark Ingram. Kamara went back.
Finally.
Went back and got, 10 catches? Was that?
Yeah, he did all of his damage in the passing game this week, but I'm just happy he's back. He had 75 yards on the ground, so a nice balanced game. Didn't even get in the end zone, but still RB1 production. Looking forward to the rest of the year with my guy Alvin and his nose ring.
He has, can you guess how many touchdowns he has this year? You might know it because you own him.
It's got to be under 5. It's got to be like 4?
It's 2.
2? Oh my God. Yeah,
one rushing.
It feels like that.
1 receiving, and they were in the same game at Seattle. He has 0 touchdowns otherwise all year.
Brutal, but I think that will change towards the end of the year, and I'm here for it. Please,
banking on it. Yep. DJ Chark with Nick Foles back at the helm, 2 touchdowns. Looks like a rock solid wide receiver 1. John Brown, same thing. Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, Michael Gallup. 2 guys I want to talk about: Kyle Rudolph and Ryan Griffin. We'll get to them a little bit, but are we picking them up? And they're here to stay? I know.
Yes,
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, or whatever you red zone reindeer.
You got to pick these guys up. I would actually prioritize Griffin over Rudolph because Griffin is clearly Sam Darnold's favorite target. He's honestly a monster, and we've been sleeping on him for way too long. This guy can play. I mean, I don't know if it's like sustainable in terms of year-over-year production, but this year, Ryan Griffin is a great play. Definitely a tight end 1, given how terrible the position is. Go get him. If you're a George Kittle owner like I am in one league, I'm definitely picking him up. Like, for example, I actually think I might trust him more than Jared Cook at the moment. So
definitely.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. The last 6 weeks, 3 of the weeks, he's had at least a touchdown or 100 yards, and no more Chris Herndon. So we'll talk about who got hurt before we move on. Marlon Mack, broken hand, and as of Monday night, he is out indefinitely. He's getting surgery. He's definitely out for Thursday night game this week, which is, I think it's the, the Colts
and Texans, I think.
Colts Texans, yeah. So he's possibly out for longer. Jonathan Williams in his stead, the former Packer, I believe, who had 1 yard all year, rushed for over 100 yards. So are we picking him up? I think we are.
Yeah, I think you have to, just based on the time of year. And just on the off chance you're looking at like a Pierre Thomas situation, you have to.
Yes. Oh, I love Pierre.
Frenchie, bring him back.
2 other guys, Auden Tate, Philip Dorsett, not really notable, but Auden Tate had a scary injury. Hope he's okay with his neck. Philip Dorsett, head injury, but nice touchdown grab. League-wide trends, 2 weeks until playoffs. It's coming up. It's literally 2 more regular season weeks for standard leagues.
Cannot come soon enough because it's gonna come down to the wire for me in a couple of leagues, and
me too.
Not looking forward to all that stress. So let's just get it out of the way. Hopefully,
I agree.
Okay, let's get into our Week 11 recap segments. We got to start off with our bad haircut fantasy regret of the week, and it sounds like Scott's ready to throw this one out into the fantasy regret of the year ether.
Yeah. Yep.
David Johnson, Scott, take it away.
Ugh, it's in the ether. It's out there. I put it in the ether last week. he was our bad haircut, I believe, last week. Starting him was. This week, it's owning him at all. And I am so sorry to everyone that I touted this guy all offseason, said he was a consensus top 5 pick. And honestly, he looked like that in the beginning of the year. And I think it's Coach Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's just a dick, and I think he hates David Johnson. And this haircut is the reverse mohawk. I guess it was cool for a little bit, and it's just not cool anymore. And David Johnson needs to get out of there. Cliff Kingsbury can have his fucking Kenyon Drake and his Chase fucking Edmonds. Get my guy, David. It's not against David Johnson. Just get him out of there.
Honestly, so many responses I have to go through. First off, all right. So,
okay.
So I don't even know when was the time when the reverse mohawk was cool. I don't know if there was. I'm just challenging that. And second off,
good point.
David Johnson tweeted. Did you see this?
No.
Tweeted after the game. Welp. ...
Wow. He's so soft spoken too.
He's culturally like Tim Duncan, so that's shocking coming from him.
Good for him.
Honestly, he might be a little banged up still. He is being frozen out of that offense.
Why?
I have no idea why.
For the love of God, I have no idea why.
I think he's actually the perfect complement to Kyler Murray too, which is what makes this so bizarre.
100%.
But
Kenny Drake is really good too at it.
I'm thinking maybe part of it is the contract. Maybe long term, they're starting to think, wow, we can't pay our running back this much. I don't know. Maybe I'm just putting words in their mouth, but I don't know. I hope he gets out of there as well. And then my third thought here is definitely a solid fantasy regret of the year contender. Right now we have AJ Green. We have
Deshaun
Jackson, who similarly went from starting him was a regret in 1 week, and then the following week owning him at all was a regret.
Yep.
So we're in a similar boat there.
OJ Howard's up there.
That's a nice top 4 right there, a nice Mount Rushmore, and I'm sure there's more to be added down the road. But David Johnson, let's get a rescue mission out there. We got Allen Robinson out of Jacksonville. It looks like he might have been better off staying there, honestly. But but let's get David Johnson out of Arizona. Let's put him somewhere fun.
Is this like a Los Angeles Chargers thing with Melvin Gordon, where like he's just gonna sit out when he comes back? He's shitty, and then his backup just like kills it. Like Kenyon Drake is kind of a perfect fit for that system. The air raid with Kyler Murray, like it kind of works. I hate to admit it because I own David Johnson in 2 leagues and Kenyon Drake in only 1, but like it kind of works.
Yeah, like I mean, here's the deal: we know the shelf life on running backs is short,
right?
Is it this short? Is David Johnson washed? I don't think that's a yes. But I also know that he doesn't look the same. And even when he was putting up numbers early in the year, it didn't like pop off the page like it did a couple of years ago. So I mean, my hope is that he goes to an established professional NFL offense next year. I don't know where that is. I don't know who needs a running back that badly. Maybe he doesn't even leave at all. I don't know. But I could see them trying to deal him just because I don't know if they're not going to use him more than he gets 7 carries this week. Like, I don't know why you even have him on the roster at that point then.
David Johnson?
Yeah.
He had nothing.
Oh, he had nothing?
He had 0.
Oh, 7 snaps maybe. That might have been.
I don't even know if he had 7 snaps.
Oh my God.
I think he was active. I don't even think he saw the field.
Jesus.
It's Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's a dickhead, honestly. Let's move on. Turn down the music. Canceled player of the week. First of all, it's Cliff Kingsbury is the canceled player of the week. Not really. You know what? Fuck him though. Honestly, Chase Edmonds, this whole fiasco, and he's not even that good. I don't like him at all. But our canceled player of the week is Jack Doyle. I'm also done with him. Come on, dude. Enough is enough. I've touted you. I've been in your corner for like what seems like forever, probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
And like you didn't even get a target. This past week, I'm done.
He's just a guy, you know. Like
I'm done.
I think we fell in love a couple of years ago with the name and the production. He was having actually a really solid year. A little bit of a Gary Barnidge situation, honestly. I think honestly he's a much more talented football player than Gary Barnidge ever was, but it's just he's not put it together consistently. I know he's had some injury concerns. He's even been hurt this year as well. But I mean, Jack Doyle. He's another one of those guys.
bro.
He's a guy that's going to get you like 2 catches, 25 yards every week, and that's it. And once in a while, he'll get in the end zone. And that's not a starter. Like I'd rather go after a guy that shows a little bit more juice, even if his floor is, I guess, lower. Can it get much lower? I don't know. I'm with you. The Colts are a very confusing offense to me because now that Mac's out of the picture for a little while, what are they? I just don't know what to expect.
I was looking at their depth chart today, and this is Monday. I was looking at it. We're releasing this episode Wednesday, but like their wide receivers, there were like 4 guys on the IR or out. Also, T.Y. Hilton, Chester Rogers was out for a little bit. Paris Campbell was out. Their 5th stringer guy was out. So they had like Zach Pascal and like guys I've never heard of before in my life, and they got Jacoby Brissett trying to hold it all together. Having said that, Jack Doyle should have had a good game, and same with Eric Ebron. And they trounced the Jaguars 33-13, and they didn't get in it at all. So it's just going to be a running team. It's going to be Jonathan Williams, Nyheim Hines, and maybe Jordan Wilkins just running the ball down teams' throats, I guess.
Yuck.
Boring.
But you know what? They're a good team, so there'll be some sneaky production. Might as well pick up Jonathan Williams because highest ceiling of that group, I would say.
Definitely.
Oh, boy. All right.
Fantasy hangover.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling this one.
This is the hangover. So you get 1 year older, and the same amount of drinks just doesn't sit as well the next year. We've all been there. We've all been 22, drank 15 White Claws. Maybe White Claws wasn't a thing back then, but 15 drinks, recovered within 6 hours of waking up the next day. Then the next year, 23, 24, it just doesn't sit as well. You start getting the full day hangovers, and then it turns into 2-day hangovers.
Oh, yeah.
That is the Rams offense this year compared to last year.
The Monday residual. That's the worst. The absolute worst. The Monday residual. Because your sleep gets all fucked up. That's really what it. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing for me is I don't think this has ever happened, but I could theoretically drink, maybe not 15 drinks, but a significant amount. If I would go to bed at 11, I'll probably be able to recover the next day. But when I'm going to bed at 3, 4 a.m., you get that late night pizza. It takes up a couple hours. It's not happening. And then you get the residual Monday, and that's brutal. That's exactly what's going on with the Rams right now. I know they just beat the Bears, but Robert Woods, personal issue, ugly. Missed the game. There's flashes still, moments where you think you're out of the woods, and your stomach finally feels settled for a minute, and your head stops hurting for 30 seconds, but then you're just back to reality. And I mean, I don't know where the Rams go from here. I mean, I know it's about as bad as it can get in terms of injuries and personnel guys out. Gurley's looked good this week, but he's been banged up, and Cooks is out. Woods missed this game. I get it, but
couple things.
It's not the same.
Yep. Yeah. It's a couple things have to happen. Brandon Cooks needs to get healthy.
Yes.
Because he stretches the field. Josh Reynolds just doesn't do it the same. They need to retool the whole offensive line.
Oh,
Andrew Whitworth's getting burned. I mean, he actually handled himself well against Khalil Mack on Monday night, but other than that, he looks every bit of 35 or 36, however old he is. Love the guy, but
I think he's even older.
Cleats.
I think he's
Is he really?
I think he's 39 years old. I'm going to Google that while you keep talking.
That's too old for a left tackle that you need to get the best pass rush and neutralize it. Same with the middle of their line. It's nothing special right now. They're not making any room for the running game. So it's a bunch of different things. They had a couple of big plays last night. This is again Monday, so Sunday night. They had one big one to Josh Reynolds that got called back for a holding.
Kupp had a 50-yarder.
And then they had Cooper Kupp got a 51-yarder or 52, whatever it was. It was supposed to be a touchdown. It got called back because he was out of bounds. Got the ball stripped out of his. So they had a couple of chances, but Jared Goff just looks awful. He's cuttable. You could drop him.
Yes, 100%. And Whitworth is 37 years old. I was about to say 73.
He looks like it.
Yeah,
out there.
He's got the gray beard and everything. I mean, first off, fucking great end of his career because, I mean, he was having an all-pro season at 35. So respect, but father time comes for everybody in the NFL. the not for long league, and it's come for him. So, and the rest of that Rams offensive line,
Not for long.
because they're just not the same. All right, Scott. We've been talking about this every week. Beauty sleepers. I think it's time to finally put them to rest. Get that? Get it? I see what I did there. And I'm just going to say this. I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from all of this is that too many people look back on what happened the year before, and they use that to govern what they do when they draft, rather than being optimistic about the next year. If you were optimistic about Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews, if you were optimistic about that combination, you're a winner right now, because Mark Andrews is a top 5 tight end. Lamar is a top 1 or 2 quarterback, depending on how you feel about Russ. And you're killing it, right? And you got those guys in rounds. Lamar, round 12, 11, if you were being 13. Safe. And then Andrews is like round 16. Like,
yep.
Those,
just like Pat Mahomes 2 years ago.
That's who you take shots on late in drafts, and you do that by being optimistic. Just like you were optimistic about Austin Hooper, Curtis Samuel. Those guys are providing lights out production
Singletary.
Based on where they were drafted. So that's really what we're talking about here when we talk about beauty sleepers. It's all about finding the bright side of situations that could explode, right? We knew the Ravens' running offense could explode. A lot of people thought it would be Mark Ingram, which it kind of has been. He's been pretty rock solid this year, but Lamar is the X factor there. So get pieces of offenses like that. Even the Falcons' offense, if you got Hooper, he's the best part of that offense outside of Julio Jones. So hats off to you.
Love that. Sleep it off.
And now that we're writing off the beauty sleepers for the rest of the year, most likely, I cannot wait for the Browns wide receivers to finally start chucking the ball around the yard for Rob. Oh, let's go.
And Deshaun Hamilton to finally do something, and David Njoku to come back, and Bob Wiley to get a job.
Oh,
all of that.
Bob Wiley. Okay, we're going down our list of dips here. It's time to buy one. We got to buy the dip. And our dip here this week is crab dip. And the best vehicle for consumption, I'm throwing it out there, a nice soup cracker, like maybe a saltine, but like sturdy, or one of those like oyster crackers, but like a big one. I don't even know if those exist, but some sort of cracker for our crab dip. Crab dip? What do you guys think?
Crab dip? Boo! Oh, someone's not happy.
Boring.
I think there's a time.
One-way trip to Snoresville.
Did you get it out of your system? I think there's a time and place
dip
for crab
sucks.
dip. There's a time and place for it. You can't have it like you have it on your own, one-on-one, like when you're watching football. You're psycho. You have it at like a dinner place. It's weird to order that. You have to have it like at a group setting, like a cocktail party.
Yes, exactly.
That's the only time you can have it. And it's
I'm thinking like New England wedding is the aesthetic we're going for here.
Done. Like Wedding Crashers, like that kind of wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Like Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
The kind of party we would never find Rob at, especially.
Oh, you don't think I would ever crash a wedding?
Not if you knew there was crab dip there. You'd be too bored, I guess.
I wouldn't be there for the crab dip.
What kind of crab, though? Blue crab? Like blue crab dip? Is that a thing?
I guess so, right? Soft
I don't
shell?
know what other kind there would be. I think it's I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. Interesting. Also, we need to distinguish what type of cracker, because immediately my mind went to a Ritz, but then I backtracked and I'm thinking club cracker. Original club cracker.
Straight up?
No, the little octagon crackers.
No.
You put in your soup. That's what I think of.
I have a hot take for you. I think club crackers are 1,000 times better than Ritz.
Oh, easily. 100%. The club crackers are amazing.
So fucking good.
They're like
so good.
You guys
two
are
crackers.
Weird.
What do you mean? You don't like club
all,
crackers?
What even is crab dip? What is it?
It's just
look it up.
Crab and some other like Old Bay seasonings, a bunch of stuff
Are you
whooped
kidding
up
me?
together.
What's in there? You can't just suggest it and then not know what's in it.
Why don't you look it up?
Says the guy that
God.
Says the guy that's down for buffalo chicken dip. What's in there? You don't even know what's in there.
Right.
I know what's in there.
All right, I'll read it to you. Hold on.
Chicken and buffaloes.
Good job in buffaloes.
Clever. That was clever.
God, how many ads can I get in one website? Just want the fucking recipe. Cream cheese, mayo, Old Bay, mustard, 1 pound lump crab meat, cheddar cheese.
It's literally buffalo chicken dip, but sub
With
out crab for buffalo chicken.
That's literally
the same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Gross.
You could cook it or not.
Oh my god.
I'm not a big crab guy though. I'm gonna throw it out there.
I don't like crab.
Oh, you don't like crab cakes?
No.
Not into crab cakes.
Wow.
I don't like
Not
crabs.
into crab cakes.
Yo, I'm sorry. I know I'm outnumbered right now, but I think the listeners will have my back that you guys are just too close-minded for this podcast right now. Crab
You
cakes.
can throw that at Rob, but not me.
Crab cakes are an
Open your
elite.
mind, dude.
Crab cakes are an elite food item. And I will if I see this on the menu, 9 times out of 10 I'm getting it.
Really?
A nice crab cake. Love crab cakes.
Wow.
Come on.
Crab cakes and football.
I've
That's what
had-
Maryland does.
I've had bad crab cakes, and I'm just not into them at all.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like them.
I'm not getting them from like the supermarket deli, but
I like
you know,
other seafood, like lobster, that's actually good.
I don't like lobster either.
But not crab cakes.
Lo-
That's
lobster-
objectively bad.
lobster and
people
crab are
suffer
so
so easy to eat
similar. They're so similar.
There's like the same thing.
No,
you
they're
you
not.
only like lobster because you like butter.
No,
Seriously.
It's so true.
You just
lobster and crab is so different.
yeah, lobster's more
Maybe if
leathery.
you're eating like a giant king crab, it might be more similar to lobster. But when you're eating regular old crab and it's mashed up into a cake, what the fuck is that?
I'm talking about a crab cake with like fresh crab, not with like that, like that goop you get at the supermarket. I'm talking about like
yeah.
treat this with care. Like,
Do you like lobster
take it
rolls?
seriously?
Rob,
Yeah, I like lobster rolls.
that's mashed up lobster for you. You just described crab cakes as crab. I'm playing
It's
devil's
not
advocate
mashed
here.
up lobster. It's like shredded up lobster.
That's what crab cakes are. Shredded up crabs.
Oh my god!
Open your
It's
mind,
not.
man.
You know what?
Open
I'm
your
gonna-
mind up.
When you guys are home for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna bring you to Real Kitchen, and we're gonna get some good crab cakes, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make you eat an octopus leg.
That's grosser.
If you
That's
fry
the only
it,
thing grosser.
if you fry it, I'm game.
Ugh. You would love Portugal then. That's all they freaking eat.
And wet vegetables, right?
Wet vegetables, cod. Yeah, right. Like
grease.
Rob's comment about Greek food. Wet vegetables.
It's true. Greek food is just wet vegetables. Cold, wet vegetables. That's what it is.
And octopus and
At
cod.
me.
I think we should just table that and move on. Let's
Yeah.
just wrap it up and say Rob is out on crab dip, Scott is in the middle, and I'm in on it. So I'm with you, New Englanders out there. I know you're
Yeah.
out there, you New Hampshire listeners. I'm ready to
Sucks.
take down some crab dip with some club crackers.
Did you see Rob's go, sucks. under his breath while you're saying that. Yeah, I'm middle of the road for crab dip. It depends on the mood I'm in. I don't like crabs themselves though. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I
Well,
like crashing weddings, but I don't like crab dip.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So
They're
this
mutually exclusive.
this week is likely the last week to trade in most leagues, right?
yes,
Trade
you
deadline
gotta-
coming up.
It's the last chance you have to buy the dip. So, I mean, make it count. I would say don't make a trade just to make a trade at the deadline. I'd say that's probably my number one piece of advice. But,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, you have a tight end that is one of those lower of the pecking order guys. Like, maybe not, he's like
Greg
a
Olsen?
starter, but like a Greg Olsen type. And let's say you are considering dropping him for somebody like Ryan Griffin or Kyle Rudolph. Honestly, not that big of a downgrade. So why don't you package Olsen with someone else, get someone in a 2-for-1 trade, and then go pick up that tight end? It's like it's your only chance left in the year to do that.
Yep.
So go get it done. Get it done this week. Be a savage on the trade market, and then reap the benefits down the road in the fantasy playoffs.
Last chance to buy low on Odell. We keep on saying it. Something's gonna give. It's got to give,
Gotta.
right?
I think. I hope
He
so.
has way too much talent to have one touchdown and 500 yards this year.
Yeah. I mean, oh God, can they just fire Freddie Kitchens already?
Yeah, should
Oh man.
hire Bob Wiley.
Yes.
So waiver, we got a good amount of waivers. So we talked about Kyle Rudolph and Ryan Griffin. Another tight end to throw in the mix, Jacob Hollister.
Oh, Rob
3
loves Hollister.
touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, big Hollister guy. I think he's sticking around with with Will Dissly out for the year, obviously, Jacob Hollister has filled in the void pretty nicely, and Russell Wilson's having, again, MVP caliber season, so why not pick up one of his trusted targets?
Yeah, and Lockett's a little banged up at the moment, too, so there's even more room to go around here. I would definitely go for Hollister as well. And we got some wide receivers, Scott. Debo. God, do I love Debo. And this is the time of year that rookies come out to play. The rookies that are going to be in our lives for the next 10 years, this November, mid to late November, this is when they emerge. I think Debo's one of those guys. And I know I went overboard early in the year on Marquise Brown, Terry McLaurin, but I think Debo in that system is such a nice player. I see him being a good player next year. I see him being a solid option for the rest of this year, especially with Sanders out. So go get Debo. Love him. Yeah, Scott's in on Debo as well. I would say throw out Randall Cobb, Jonathan Williams on Indy, who we mentioned earlier, and then Bo Scarborough. First off, great name. Second off, Alabama pedigree. And third, filling a void on that Detroit Lions team, go get Bo Scarborough. That's the dip you're buying in, I guess, week 11 already, heading into week 12.
Thursday night football time. We got Colts at Texans. Texans are favored by 3.5. Just got trounced by the Ravens. 44-7? Was that last week?
Yeah, it was brutal. It was like a 34-point swing there, or a line by the end of the game.
Yikes. And the Colts were the opposite of that. Nick Foles coming back didn't really do much for them. The Colts beat the Jaguars 33-13. So again, Texans are favored by 3.5 here. They're home. 538, that website that we have referred to a couple of times, has the Texans a 60% chance to win. What do we think of this one? We got Marlon Mack is out for an indefinite period of time here. Jonathan Williams, 100 yards. But what else do we have here? Nyheim Hines, is he a pickup? Is he a play?
Oh God, I guess if you're in a PPR league, sure. If you're not, no chance.
Yeah.
Oh God, what do I make of this game? I honestly like the Colts here. I know the Texans have a top 2 wide receiver in the NFL. I know they have Deshaun Watson. I love those guys. But the Texans, like you saw the Jekyll side, or maybe it's the Hyde side. I don't know. Last week, and it's really bad. And the Colts are just a solid team. You know what you're getting every week. Jacoby Brissett is a rock solid starter. I kind of like the Colts. I think this 60% line is nuts. I think this is a pick 'em. You can flip a coin, and I wouldn't be fine. I'd be fine either way.
Nice. So Colts have won 4 of their past 5 games against the Texans. They're also 9-3-1 against the spread against Houston since 2013. So keep in mind they had Andrew Luck for a lot of that. It's the first year they haven't, for the most part. Like he's probably been hurt for a couple of those games, but this season, Colts beat the Texans 30-23 as a 1.5 point favorite, so they covered there. And they've been covering machines on the road, 4-1-1 in their past 6 games, and 4-2 straight up on the road. The other side, Texans are 9-2 straight up in their past 11 home games, but one of those 2 losses did come against Indy. I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I think this is a get-right game for them. I think the Colts just have too many injuries that are stacking up. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh God, I just see. My heart says Deshaun at home on Thursday night. It's just no brainer. But I just feel like the Colts are just so rock solid. I don't know. My gut is telling me to go with the Colts, even though my heart says go with the Texans. So I'm going to go with my gut because that's really
I like that.
That's really what governs us all at the end of the day.
Nice. Spoken from the heart there. Nice.
From the gut.
All right, that does it for Week 11 recap. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Let us know what you think about the Thursday night football preview, and let us know what you think about Crab Dip, because it's quite contentious. It got heated. Crab Grip? Did I say it weird?
I think crabs grip pretty well.
Crabs grip really well.
I don't have time. I don't have time for this, guys. I got to get back to my algorithm with all my crab cake videos.
With your
shirts. Let us know what you think.
Your pants.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let us know what you think in the review section, you heathens. God damn it!
That's such a great word, heathen.
That's a really good word.
It's an underutilized term, honestly.
Heathen. What's the definition of heathen?
I think it's like a sinner, like Someone that needs an exorcism or something.
I just had deja vu. I feel like last year we looked. Someone said heathen. I looked it up. Person who does not belong to a widely held religion, especially one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim, as regarded by those who do.
Right, the religion of the pod.
Yes.
The pod father.
We are the pod fathers. You are the pod sons. And if you don't leave a review, you're gonna be swimming with the fishes.
In the Hudson.
You hear what I'm saying?
You don't want to be swimming in the Hudson.
You're gonna be swimming in the fishes with cement blocks on your feet. And you're gonna get a good workout.
Are we just gonna leave it like that?
I think so. I think that's perfect.
With a murder charge?
Yeah.
To our name?
It's more like a
I'm just picturing every UQD like Kramer when he gets back to the apartment when those guys throw him in the river. That's gonna be all of our listeners when Rob gets through with them for not leaving reviews. So just go leave a review. You don't need to go swimming in the Hudson.
You better believe I got connections to cement guys. Well,
see you later.
See you later.